Garner, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
I'm Garner Holt, president of Garner Holt Productions in San Bernardino, California.
And when did Knott's first approach you to get involved with the redo of the mine train ride?
Well, you know, the first approach from Knott's actually was around 2012, I believe, when I just was sitting on the couch in the shop one day and the phone rang and it was Knott's, and they said, we need to talk, and they wanted to talk about the log ride. Well, when we started the log ride, the thing was that as that progressed and we really got into a big show over there, we started hearing rumors as we were building the log ride that, you know, do a good job here, we've got a mine ride to do afterwards, you know, so we kept hearing that, and we thought, okay, well, that's really great. So as soon as the log ride was completed and it was a big hit, you know, big home run, you know, immediately they said, okay, you know, like we said, mine ride's next, so let's get started, let's start talking. So it moved right out of the log ride into the mine ride, so we were real happy with that.
So exactly how long did it take for the complete development of the mine train ride?
Well, we had a little bit more time than we did the log ride. We started, I think it was September, October-ish, and you know, started thinking about designs and things, and started making plastics and all of that. And as we, you know, got through the end of the year into January, we started getting a little heavier into production, you know, mechanical and that type of thing. And then it was only a couple of months ago that they shut the attraction here down. We started putting things in the attraction and started moving in. But, you know, and then we were working diligently up until midnight of last night, you know, just like we always do.
And how many total figures did you actually do for the mine train ride?
I think there's in the vicinity of 104 or something like that. A lot of them are animals. I think there's 48 humans or something like that. There's a lot of bats and vultures and donkeys and things like that, but there's quite a few animals.
Can you tell us about the RFID playback system?
Oh yeah, the RFID playback system. Well, we put the spiel in the train that the operators would talk into a microphone was, a lot of it was varying in quality and inconsistent, and a lot of it wouldn't know their lines, that type of thing. So it was decided to do some recordings of some prospector type voices and have them play back throughout the attraction. So what we did is we built a system that goes in the trains that has an antenna, and there are pucks that are along the track, and as the train passes over a certain puck, it tells the train what spiel to run. It's an RFID system, and so the radio frequency identifies itself and says, run this spiel, so it runs a certain spiel voice of the character, and it, you know, for that narration for that particular scene. So it's a very effective system. We've got it installed in all the trains, and so as they drive through there, the spiels are automatically synced with what they see in the ride itself.
So what is it that you want the guests to most take away from the attraction to really notice? Is there something special that you're wanting to impart to them?
Well, you know, the mine ride is a very immersive environment. It's something that, you know, kind of affects all of your senses, you know, the smells, the sights and sounds and smells and things. And you see our performers who are miners mining in this attraction. You know, we like to entertain people, but it's also nice when you can educate people along the way. And, you know, in classes and school kids and others come out here, you know, it's not like a lot of attractions that it's just all for fun. When you go into this attraction, you're seeing a lot of authenticity. You know, you're seeing a lot of authentic equipment, a lot of authentic costumes, a lot of authentic mining methods. And so you're getting entertained, but you're learning a little bit along the way, you know, and it's not very many places you can come to, like you can come to Knott's Berry Farm and really experience a lot of history. You know, from the point you walk in the park and you see Ghost Town and you look in the vignettes and see the characters and you see all of the sights and smells and sounds and the characters walking around. You're kind of in an immersive environment, and there's a lot of history here, and there's a lot of training, you know, education here, and you know, you go on the mine, and that just kind of completes that. So, unlike a lot of theme parks that it's all just fun and games, this has a little bit of educational value to it. And I think that's really important. I think kids need to understand and learn now. You know, the kids that watch video games not all the time, they need to get into things like this and immersive attractions and see what it would really be like to have been in a mine and things. So I think that's what is important to me. I bring out of it.
How did you make the figures so historically accurate, and the costumes? What type of research was involved?
Well, we spend a lot of time researching it. I mean, we obviously have to fit into the mine that we have here, and we look at equipment and historical mining equipment, and we look at our costumer was very cognizant of mining clothing that was used, and looking at old pictures. And you know, the internet's a valuable resource. Unlike years ago, we're able to pull up all kinds of old historic pictures of miners and things like that. We try to make the fabrics right, make the prints right on the fabrics. And, you know, we go into a lot of detail. You know, we buy the right kind of boots, maybe, and we'll put mud on the boots, artificial mud, to where it looks like they've been sloshing in the mud. And you wouldn't have clean clothes in the mine, so there's a lot of sweat stains that we put on. And so we do a lot of that detail, and it's important to make the show effective and make it work. So we try to look at all the little details, try to look at the types of mining equipment we have and make sure that it's right for the era. And so we try to stay cognizant of all of that, and that's part of the history and education of it too. You want things to be right, you know. So we're really sticklers on that.
So as a child growing up in Southern California, what does this mean to you? How do you feel about having to, you know, add to such an iconic attraction in the theme park?
Yeah, well, you know, it's really funny. I'm the same age as the mine ride. We were both created in 1960, and you know, I used to ride this ride with my dad as a child and sit on his lap. And I remember thinking, you know, and probably when I was 4 or 5 years old, I probably, you know, I remember thinking it was a real mine. I thought I was really going underground, and I was really afraid. And you know, it's important to me to have that history in my mind, you know, and look at that from the standpoint of my family history. But at the same time, you know, Bud Hurlbut, who invented this ride, was a man before his time in this industry. You know, when Walt was creating Disneyland, he came out here and would ride this ride. And you know, some of the things that Disneyland happened, which were the mine train there, the Nature's Wonderland, and also even some Big Thunder concepts, you know, you kind of see similarities, you know. So you know, Walt would come down here and look at how Bud did things. And you know, what's really cool about this attraction is, I think, in its enhanced form now that we've got it full of figures and everything, I think you could take this and lift it out of this park and put it in almost any park, and it would be a great attraction. It would be a wonderful attraction. It is way ahead of its time, and it's well thought out. It's an immersive environment. It's something people really enjoy, and you know, it stands the test of time. And I'm glad that we were able to take something and not let it go by the wayside. And you know, now that we've revitalized it, you know, it'll go for another, you know, 20 or 30 years, and people will enjoy it by the millions, you know, and that's what this is all about. So it is a very iconic ride, and the history in that ride's incredible, and now it's revitalized, and it was like a sleeping giant. It's brought back to life now, so we're really excited about that.
It's wonderful.
Great. Thank you so much. We really appreciate all your hard work, and Bud Hurlbut thanks you, Walter Knott thanks you.
Well, and I feel really good to think that. We're honored to have done it, and we're really excited to be participating and having Knott's chosen us to do this, you know. So.